This is WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago and broadcasting live, of course, at radio.iit.edu. And then, of course, on that TuneIn app, all you have to do is search WIIT and get us right there. It's Fusion Radio with Brian Stinson and YTS Keys. Got our really dope guest. She was like super geeked up about being on Fusion Radio, and we super geeked up about having her. And the cool thing about it is not only do we have her, but we got her friend on the show, too. And so her friend going to be coming up a little bit later right here on Fusion Radio. But who am I talking about? This super dope R&B artist and singer by the name of Johni Demeatri.
Yes, sir.
You're in the building. So if you could tell us a little bit about what inspired you to actually get into music and, you know, just tell us, like, what are we in store for regarding you and your music movement?
Yeah, for sure. As far as getting into music, man, I've been singing as long as I've been talking, for real. So I think music is just in me. You know, it's just really something that's embedded in me. Like, I really didn't have a choice in doing music. And I got really into doing it independently, basically by just hitting rock bottom. I won't even lie. I had a good job that I lost, and it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do now? And I'm sitting on $1 million gift, you know. So that's what got me into taking my gift seriously. And, yeah, I haven't looked back. I've been doing it consistently for about maybe 6 years now, going on 6 years. And I'm about to release a single this coming Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, called All For Me. And following that, I got a tape coming. So, you know, it's popping this summer for sure.
That's what's up. So how would you describe your style and sound as someone that's hearing you for the first time?
Hardcore R&B. Emphasis on the hardcore. For sure. It's just definitely something from the depths of my soul, you know, just something that's always relatable. Relatability is what I usually write from. You know, sometimes you don't always experience what you write about, you know. Sometimes it's strictly empathy, you know, but it's something that's relatable, and it's definitely something is hardcore, it's gully.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Take us through actually your creative process when you're in the studio.
I like to partake in cannabis. I don't know if I can.
No, you can say that. You did that. It's really nice. I like the way you dressed that up.
I like to smoke weed. You know, that's usually the start point of it. Really just something to get the creative juices flowing, and, you know, listening to the music, or even, you know, just feeling my own vibe and feeling my own creative energy from there and where it takes me. Yeah, that's really it. You know, I'm not necessarily, I love to write music, but I'm not a physical writer. Mm-hmm. Probably lazy or something like that, but that's just really where I go. I would go to the mic, or, you know, just really vibe out for a little bit, and yeah.
Smoking weed. I heard something about smoking weed.
Wow.
Smoking weed?
I said all that, and all you heard was smoking weed.
You smoking weed, Brian? Because Brian a closet smoker. So I try to get on there with him every time I get a chance to. He be acting like he don't smoke, but he want to smoke by himself. It's cool.
For sure.
But now, you kind of got, well, I ain't going to say you got on there with me earlier, but you kind of looked at me kind of differently, because I was like, oh, so you just R&B singer? He was like, nah, I ain't just no R&B singer, you feel me? I do a little bit of everything. But so, like, just in general, like, what makes you, like, really want to do music, though? Because I know, like, it's a lot of things you could be trying to do out here in this world. So, like, what made you be like, okay, music is what I want to do, though?
Yeah, I was just kind of telling him music was not really even though it's a choice, obviously, it wasn't that much of a choice for me because of, you know, how much it's in me. You know, like, my mom is the person who, really the first person who told me I can sing. And she told me that she learned that I can sing from watching What's Love Got to Do with It when I was like 2-3 years old. So you got to think about, like, do you remember stuff from when you was 2? Exactly. You know what I mean? So I've been singing that long, though. Like, it's something that I don't remember where it even started, you know. So that's what really keeps me in it. It's just like, at this point, I'm in it too deep to let it go. You know, it's just, man, it's a real passion of mine at this point in my life. Always been, but like now it's like, yeah, that's me.
See, that's what I be trying to explain to Brian, because it's like that's what make this show so good, and like made me want to be a part of it, because like bro been a radio personality like forever, like he been doing
I
it.
could tell.
But see, he's never like transitioned to try to be an artist. So with us talking to artists, like that's like kind of the aspect of what I bring to the show. Like me being an artist, I'll be able to speak in like and talk about certain things. You feel me? So like one thing I want to talk about is like I know the process as far as like being an R&B singer and stuff. I mean, not an R&B singer, but like a rapper and stuff like that. But like, what's the process as far as like how you go about like your lyrics and like how you go about like certain songs and stuff like that? Because I know it's not necessarily like just you could just go at it. Like it's kind of like more of like a process. So like, what specifically like your process though, as far as like writing a song like start to finish?
Feeling. Start to finish is feeling. How it makes me feel, how I feel while doing it, how the beat feels, you know. I'll let you in on something. Somebody just sent me a dope beat that has a sample on it that's from 90s hip hop, you know, and I was taking it in a different direction, but it just didn't feel like that. You get what I'm saying? So I really draw from feeling, really, probably too much. And the crazy part about it is I'm not that big of an emotional person, but I think that's what makes me very emotional, is that I draw so much from feeling and empathy when it comes down to my music. Is my life at this point. There's not even 15 minutes that goes by in every day that I'm not doing something musically, or I'm not talking to somebody or trying to send this or do this, you know. So I would just say feeling, you know, like that's what keeps me super duper emotional. But as far as being an emotional like person, honestly, not really. But emotion and feeling and just empathy is definitely the process for me, the end all be all. And talent, you know, that's really the cure for me, the treatment.
But one thing I do want to speak on that you just said about sometimes you feel like you be a little bit too like emotionally invested into your music. Don't feel like that though, because I feel like that's when the best music is created. Facts. When it has some type of passion or feeling behind it. Because like, for instance, what a lot of people don't understand is that's how a lot of people make it and a lot of people don't make it, because like you can tell the passion and the drive by just off listening to how a certain person says. That's like, you know how they say words don't hurt you, but like if you say a certain word a certain type of way, it make you feel some type of way. Yes. So it's like, don't ever strive away from that, because that's probably what makes your music unique and makes it sound the way it sounds. So if you get away from that, your music ain't gonna sound the same. It ain't gonna hit the same. You know how they be like, it hit different. Like your song gonna hit way differently if you don't put that passion and that drive into it. That's what like I be trying to explain to bro. Like that's what make music so unique and so good, because you can have a bad day, like you can have the worst day of your life, but you could go in the studio and use that passion and that emotion that you have from that bad day and come up with the best song ever. Yeah. And it's like, and it goes vice versa. You can have the best day ever in your life, and you can go in the studio and have that same energy and go into the studio and make a smash hit. So it's like, emotion is like you said, it's a big part of what we do. So I definitely like that you brought that out and you highlighted that, because a lot of people don't understand that. Because like I listen to all type of music. Like even though I'm a rapper, I listen to all different type of music, and it's like when I go to the R&B side, like man,
it's a different a different energy vibration. Exactly. You know, and I think that we are in R&B. I think we're required to use more emotion. And there's a big battle of R&B now on what's considered R&B and what's not considered R&B in this day and age. You know, they got people like Young Thug being called Future called R&B now. You know, but I think what really separates the new school R&B versus the old school R&B is that energy vibration. It is that emotion. New school R&B is auto-tune. Facts. You know, it's auto-tune. Old school R&B outside of vocals, it's emotion. It's the real, like, you can feel, you felt Mary J. There's no way you didn't feel, but you feel like you know her because of how much you felt her, you know? So I think that's, it really is one of the biggest. You don't even have to have an impeccable amount of talent if you have this emotion to go with this R&B. You know, like it's one of the biggest aspects of it to me, like seriously. I think that's really a part of the formula, how I was just saying, the treatment, you know?
So like, to build up that, how do you deal with that in some type of way, like trying to stay true to your roots of how you like experience R&B and like how you know R&B and the beat, but to kind of switch it up in some type of way because the new audience and the new kids or like the younger crowd, they looking for a certain type of sound. Mm-hmm. So like, how do you go about like maneuvering through that and still trying to stay true to yourself and what you know to be R&B?
Adaptation. Being able to adapt, being a swan. Is it the swan that change, or is the chameleon? Is one of them that can change, you know, with the environment, you know, but no matter how much you have to adjust yourself, it's like staying true. You don't have to, I feel like you can adjust yourself without lying to yourself or without, you know, being fake to yourself. You know, you can definitely make adjustments, especially for your own growth. You know, sometimes without making those without making those adjustments or without being adaptable, you can be stagnant and hinder yourself. You know what I mean? But if you know how to stay true and adapt, that's growth to me. I feel like adapting and staying true is where growth happens. You know, that's where they meet is where you grow.
Man, y'all having like one of those like class and session conversations where, man, we should have put the prefix out there. Somebody should have definitely had their digital device recording all this knowledge. Y'all sharing, man, for real, man. No doubt that voice, that awesome voice that you hear is dropping jewels along with my brother YTS Keys is Johni Demeatri. So, like, look. We got some music from you, people hearing you talk and everything, and they're like, man, what do she sound like? I can feel somebody like, what do she sound like? Give me a sample of her dopeness. So you sort of, like, in our conversation before Keys joined, was talking about this single, All For Me. Yes. All For Me, what's the inspiration behind it, and just some special things we should know about that single?
Well, believe it or not, is actually one of those times where I had the chance to smoke some weed in the studio, you know, and really just felt the vibe. Shout out to my boy Quaalude, one of my high school classmates. He sent me this beat, believe it or not. I was actually just talking to my girl probably about 4 years ago. I've had this beat, you know, but it was really something that just came along with just vibing and really just feeling good, you know, and believe it or not, it was not my first choice. Well, I'll say it was my first choice in regards to promotion, you know, and I guess that's still where it is right now. But when it comes down to it being chosen by the people, I had a whole nother song in mind, you know what I mean? So I would definitely deem it as a special song because it was chosen by the people over what I even chose of my own creations, you know. So All For Me, for sure. Dropping May 5th, this coming Friday. I'm excited, you know. I think we going to do something this summer. I know it.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. And I love how you proclaimed it and stuck your chest out and let us know. It's Fusion Radio, Brian Stinson, YTS Keys, and Johni Demeatri. All For Me is in your ears right now.
You're all for me, and I'm all for that. You're calling me, and I'm calling back. fall for me. Now I'm falling back. You're all for me, and I'm all for that. You're calling me, and I'm calling back. You talk to me, and I'm talking back. Made you fall for me, now I'm falling back. Fly as hell, I can tell that you're feeling me. And I want you to know that it is healing me. Cause you are not only thinking about drilling me. Really, G, I can catch your vibe from your energy. Spiritually, spending so much time, got you enemy. Started sipping wine, now you kissing me. Heard it through the vine, you a different breed. And I can feel your energy when you near me. You're all for me, and I'm all for that. You're calling me, and I'm calling back. You talk to me, and I'm talking back. Made you fall for me, now I'm falling back. You're all for me, and I'm all for that. You're calling me, and I'm calling back. You talk to me, and I'm talking back. Made you fall for me, now I'm falling back.
All I'm going to say is I'm bound to laugh at least minimum 3 times with my co-host, YTS. YTS hears out of the whole interview, when the interview started with Johni Demeatri, I was mentioning this to him while the music was playing, was about her getting high. That's what he And he suggests, he says, wouldn't it be something if we could get high during the radio show in the studio? And
I think that would be awesome.
I said to him, if they can't get high during the interviews at iHeartRadio, if Angela Yee, or if she smoked, I don't know if she smoked, but if Angela Yee or Charlamagne or DJ Envy can't get high, you know we can't get high here.
Hey, a lot of people get high. A lot of people just be like you. They be closet smokers. It's cool, though. We understand.
But I do think you should put boundaries on it because, you know, people would be in here smoking way more than weed. We smoke weed. You know, people would be in here smoking that stuff. So, yeah, you got to cut it off at some point. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, because then if you let people smoke weed, then they going to want to smoke squares and all that.
And that stuff. That stuff.
Conversations we have right here on Fusion Radio. I tell you, I'm so glad that we were so PC with it, though.
But everybody smoke weed, though.
So Johni Demeatri is here. We just heard her single, All For Me. Let me try to get back on track. This guy has me cracking up and laughing over here.
Because, you know, it be the truth. That's what it be. It be funny because it really be the truth, though.
Yeah.
That's what it really be, though. I say what you just don't want to say. We be kind of scared to say. Yeah.
So, Johni Demeatri, if you could go into some of your accomplishments so far in your career and what each one of them meant to you.
Well, to jump right into this first single of mine, promotional single, All For Me, I do have a placement for the Top 100. It will be released on May 5th, which is next Friday, but I've already secured a placement for the Top 100 on iTunes. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see where I land. Obviously, you know, will be somewhere within the top 100, but I'm shooting for number 1. I have a single called Energy that I released a couple of years back. I did a re-release of it maybe 2 years ago, and I landed a spot on MTV. Worked hard for it, definitely. It was a lot to do because they didn't want to accept a lot of it. At first, I had to make some changes and rearranges, but when I did that, you know, they welcomed me with open arms. So I say it all the time, like, I loved it so much I got it tatted. Like, I got an energy tat on my back right now because of that. And I got some more stuff, you know, that I'm gonna take my time with, but I know that I'm gonna win some Grammys real soon. So I'm gonna speak it into existence. I ain't gonna put the songs out there. I almost said it, but Grammys is on the way.
I like the word "speak it into existence."
For sure.
I love that. I want to say why is because sometimes people don't do that, and they don't know what they have, like, under their belt. And when you speak it into existence, I feel like it motivates you to make it happen.
Yeah. I know that you had a few gospel guests on before me. I'm a church girl by nature, from the heart, from the depth of me. I definitely grew up in the church, so I know the power of life and death is in the tongue.
What's your favorite church song? Like classic or something
all
new?
All of them.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, it was interesting, like, with Preacher Pat, who, of course, is a preacher, artist, runs his own label, everything. When I saw Liberty, I instantly thought of the classic My Liberty with, Yolanda Adams and all that stuff. So that's why I asked you, like, is it a classic that you hear that you think about when you were growing up that you were just like, man, that song constantly plays in my head?
It's not just one. I would be doing you a disservice
Give
right
me
now
some.
to just name one. I don't even know where to start. I grew up in church, so I led a lot of gospel songs in the choir and stuff like that. So, man, but one of my biggest favorites, I will say, will be "I Told the Storm" by Diego Quinn.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorites. I don't know if I could have led that in church. I don't remember, but definitely, one of my favorites. And basically, just to go back into speaking it into existence, you know what I'm saying? It's just proclaiming your perseverance and just overcoming, you know what I'm saying? We all go through things, you know what I'm saying? But with that song, it's definitely you're coming out, So I appreciate that one a lot. So I'm not even going to wreck my brain. I Told the Storm is what came up. We're going to leave it there.
What's yours, Brian? What's your favorite gospel song?
Jesus Can Work It Out.
My mama would have said that.
I ain't going to even lie to you. And you know why? Because they got the original version, and then they got that house version. Where, man, she's going crazy.
So dope, right?
Man. Yes.
That's dope, yeah.
That house version, I'm almost tempted to play it, but I'm not. Just so
I
we can
think
stay on
you
track.
should. I would like to have that as an interlude on one of my tapes, like for real. That was so crazy when I heard it. Like, man, yeah.
Make you go crazy.
Yeah,
Straight
definitely.
up. I was saying earlier, I know you didn't hear this earlier, so I'll share it again and everything. So I actually work for a gospel station during the week.
Oh, no, I heard you, yeah.
And everything. And, the whole slogan that we have as far as the station that make your hips move.
Yeah, I heard you. Now, I think you and the Lord need to talk about your slogan. But
but in a good way, though. In a good way. The hips is moving in a good way. Just think about it. For the person who may be, we all know, and sometimes folks go to church, they be in church all day, have the church dinners, and all that stuff, pack on some pounds before they know it and all that stuff. That song is what helps them to lose a little weight.
Whatever way you want to clean it up, my brother, like I said, you talk to God about that. I'm out.
I was going to say the same thing, too. However you going to fix that one, you got to do that on your own.
What's
That's
on your
between
mind,
you and Jesus.
What's on your mind, there?
No, when y'all started the conversation about y'all favorite gospel song, I was sitting there trying to figure out what's mine. I don't know. I don't necessarily got a favorite gospel song. It's like when I listen to gospel music, they all like got their own, but you feel me? Spin to it, they got their own. I ain't gonna say message, but they all hit in their own type of way. So I ain't necessarily have like a favorite one. But it's one that stuck out of my head though.
What's that?
You know that song? They be like, "Amen."
Yeah.
I like that song. Man.
Right. That's Norman Hutchins.
Oh yeah. So
Norman Hutchins, man. Yeah. Man, that's a classic right there. That is a classic.
Most definitely. You ain't never thought about like making a gospel song, or have you ever made a gospel song?
I've started some gospel songs. I haven't necessarily completed one as of yet, but it's not even something that I'm worried about because I know it's going to happen. You know, I know it's going to happen for sure. Like, I'm going to just let it happen.
So you know someone, education, and this is why I'm a person loves to learn, right? Mm-hmm. Had no idea that Kiki Wyatt has like been singing a lot of gospel lately. And then my coworker hit me to the fact, and this isn't a bad thing, but I had no idea she had 11 kids. Like, I was like, whoa, I had no idea. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And I was like, when he told me she was singing gospel, I was like, man, he mentioning some new stuff that she was on. I was like, man, I definitely got to sit down and hear that because I know it's absolutely dynamic, man.
Yeah, for sure. One of my, if not my favorite vocalists. And I won't say that she is my favorite singer, but I will say that she probably is the best. Like one of the best voices that I think she's so much in a class of her own that you don't even have to mention. You know what I mean? Like she is impeccable as far as the 11 children. They said her and Nick Cannon was the Adam and Eve. Because he got like 11 or 12 too, right? And she got, so, hey. Yeah. More power to him, you know? I guess that's what we're here for.
That was a lot of love going around. Yeah, a lot of love, man. I was just thinking about that, though. It's just seriously, like, when Nick has children that's so close together, like, you know, when they get to certain levels as far as schooling and all that stuff, like, you know, being there for them as far as proms and different things, those memories, wow, that's a lot. You know, not saying that it's a lot in the fact of, man, he should have rethought it, but just thinking about, you know, how as a parent, you already, when you have a child, you want to make sure that they're better off than you were. And how when you have like so many different kids in so many different areas, making sure that you're committed to being the best parent to all of them.
I think, and I don't want to be negative when I say that, but I'll just speak my mind. I think that it's almost impossible with the career that they have. Somebody is going to miss out.
Right. Some
child is not going to have that dynamic with you because of how much you're on especially I'll even just use Nick Cannon as an example. He's somebody that's really in the limelight. He really has a career doing a lot of different things. We were just watching The Masked Singer. He's the host of that. I know he was doing America's Got Talent, wilding out, other things, you know, movies and things like that. So he has a very, very busy schedule, you know. So when it comes down to him, I don't know even if it's fatherhood or just leaving a legacy, you know, like leaving pretty much a legacy and helping humanity continue mankind and things like that. Because when it comes down to honest fatherhood, I can't see it as being like something where you're seriously involved in 11 people's lives at one time while you still have this career, you know, such a demanding career. You know, I commend him, and I commend them both, you know, because it's a blessing to have children. But when you really think about it, I can't see him honestly being the greatest father with that career and with that many children. Will the children be taken care of and well fed and all of that? Absolutely. Like, that's probably what he's working for, and that's what he would consider taking care of his children. But as far as being there, I think that's impossible. For one man, 11 children, like, no. It's the same thing with Kiki Wyatt. You know, I wouldn't know if she is as in-depth in the industry anymore as Nick Cannon, but she clearly still, you know, does her thing. It could be different for mothers, you know, because you give birth, you know, so it could definitely be different, but probably not much. You know, like when you think about something like that, it's probably not easy. So I ain't got no kids. I said all that to say that. My songs are my children right now.
It definitely be like that. So just before we get up out of here and stuff like that, Talk to us about this second song you got for us today.
I don't even remember what song I sent y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Need Your Love.
So, Need Your Love. I guess I do have to spill the beans. Remember when I told y'all I had a different song in mind for what I thought would be the people's choice? This is my pick, and I'll just leave it there. Need Your Love is going to be a part of my third EP. I did a trilogy of EPs, Overdue, Final Notice, and this coming summer, Disconnected equals Cutoff drops. And Need Your Love is my favorite song from Disconnected equals Cutoff, so I hope y'all like it too.
Social media wise, how can we stay all up in tune with you?
For sure, you can find me everywhere on everything, all music platforms, all social media platforms at Johni Demeatri. I already know that it's hard to spell. Sound it out. If you spell it wrong, your girl's still gonna pop up.
When I first laid my eyes on you, life felt true, and it was pointless to try to move. I felt glued. My heart began to race, but not as fast as my mind. I could focus on the irony, but I couldn't waste time. I had to figure out who you are. I had to figure out what you're going through. Figure out where you headed. Figure out how to join you. 'Cause I need your love. I need your love. Oh, say I need your love. Yeah, I need your love. Yeah. You were like a burst of thunder in the middle of the summer. Nothing to really be afraid of, but enough to make you wonder, like where you came from.